Ladies and gentlemen, you're tuning in to the Ed Talk audio collection to help you achieve a whole mind, body, and nutrition. Go ahead.
Check.
Got you.
All right, good to go.
Brandon Cela, everybody.
All
The
right.
Wrestling Mania.
Hey, oh Christ. That's my gimmick now. All right. No, man. Thanks for having me on the show, man. But so like I was saying, born March 6, 1998, to Jose and Thelma Cela. Thelma Cela. Shout out to my parents. Born in Miami, Florida, Mercy Hospital. They're Cuban. They came in '68. Separately, with their individual families, and they met up. They got married in '89, and they had me in '98, and and that's pretty much it, man. As far as
So tell me a little bit more about your uprising. So you're a kid. You're like 5 years old.
mm-hmm.
What's going on in your head?
Dragon Ball Z. No, well, wait. Oh man, wait. When I was 5, I was probably in. I think that was Yu-Gi-Oh phase, about to go into Dragon Ball Z, and that was pretty much as far as on my mind. And in school, I was blessed to my parents working hard and getting very stable jobs and very high paying jobs for their skills. My dad worked for a nonprofit and was the president of the Florida sector of his nonprofit for 10 plus years, 15 plus years or something like that. And then working for it for, well, hell, he started working there right out of college. In fact, inside of college, because he went to night school for FIU, and then for during the day he would work there. But then and then for my mom, worked at Mercy Hospital in the division. Oh man, I forget it now. Diabetes treatment center. There we go. And she was the director of the diabetes treatment center. And so they had. So I was blessed to have steady income, no family issues except for family deaths. And then, oh well, hell, now that I think about it, '05 was my dad's heart attack, and I didn't.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's backtrack on that.
Yeah. No, it just came to me. Yeah. Yeah.
So what happened?
Yeah, so it was stress related, pretty much, that he was from what I remember him explaining. It was like, and the thing was is that my parents are incredible as far as like being able to raise me, as far as like, hey, we're going to shelter him from this and that, and then kind of bring him up to speed later on, because as a kid, you can't put him through the ringer, and you can't put him through as much as you can. Now,
Right,
obviously, circumstances are different, and kids are just gonna go through bad stuff just because it just happens. But you want to shelter them as much as you can, until they feel comfortable and you feel comfortable with them, like showing the world. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So did you at all know what was going on when that was going
Man,
on?
I remember. I don't remember that point. Like I wouldn't know if I knew. If you get what I'm saying. I think they let me know, like later on or something. But man, I gotta ask them that. I never asked them if I knew. Because I know now, and I probably assuming I probably knew at the time, but they
Okay.
explained it to me in a certain way that, like, oh, dad's just in the hospital, he'll be fine or whatever.
So what do you think caused the stress behind your dad's heart attack?
Well, it was that he kept on. He said he would think about work constantly and about trying to just overdo things. And he said, that one of the things that came away from it is that you got to and this is a lesson that I take to this day,
Mhm.
And part of the show, to to not try and control things that are not in your control. There are some things that you just gotta allow to happen because you just can't manage so much because and my dad and I think the same way, that we'll think about something and then we'll just go in loops with it and then just keep going with it and going with it and going with it. And that's what happened to him, that he would think about it at night, he would think about it, all day, and he would just stress over it, and then bam. And it's also a little bit health related too, that he wasn't really eating right as much, and so that.
So what are your eating habits growing up? What are you eating? Are you just like the standard old American culture, burger, fries?
It depends on the stage, because there was Fat Brandon, that was elementary school, where it was pretty much, man, let's see, it was, because I'm not sure, because, your memory fades on you as far as like, what you do and stuff, but I seem to remember that I think I would eat lunch at the school, and it would be whatever that they had at the school.
I remember those good old school eating lunch days, man. I'm telling you, the elementary school system is screwing up our kids.
Really? You think so?
Because the food, what they introduce us to is just really, really bad habits. But I think after we have the Obamas, Michelle Obama, with the new incentive to healthy eating, I don't know how much that have done, but I think that's what's important, is integrating in our culture, healthy, because although heart attacks just happen, you just boom.
But it is health related as well.
But it's all because we ignore the problem. So you said that your dad goes through, he was going through stresses. If there's one thing I know, is failure doesn't happen by just like one speck. Right. You take a speck, you put another one, you do it again. You just keep on putting on, and you're like, well, it's just one. It's like if you go 1 week and you don't eat healthy and you're eating all junk food, and you're like, it's just 1 week.
That'll build.
It's like, it's a week.
Yeah.
You're a fool, because it's not a week. Because then you have the next week,
right?
And you're eating junk food.
Yeah.
Then the third one, fourth. Then you have 3 months. So I think at the basis of it is like always start from the beginning. So if you're a listener out here, I want to make this show relatable to what's going on in your life, because I know we all fall victims, even me. And sometimes you're not even the master of that decision, like, believe it, that at times some decisions you make are not even yours. And that's the scary part. That's when, like, you go out to a party and you're turning up. Whatever happens. Who cares what you put? You just keep on moving it. I mean, if you're in college, you must have had experience that once or twice or 3 times. That's all part of the journey, but at the end of the day, it's always having, like I say, automatic settings. A state in which you're able to just revert back to. So, yeah, you screw up. Boom, it happens. But at the end of the day, you have a set of values that you go back to.
Yeah.
And if you go astray without that, then it's really rough to try and, pass on that knowledge of good health to your kids and to your future grandkids and everyone. So that's the mission that I'm on, and that's what this show is about. It's about fitness and nutrition. So right now, I'm learning a lot of things about Brandon and health, and we want to relate all that to the show. So Brandon, let's go back to what we were talking about. School lunch. How was that for you?
I just remember the pizza sticks, man. I just remember those being hype.
I remember those were really good, man.
Yeah, but those were
Did you?
bad,
Okay,
obviously.
I'm gonna list a couple of things I want to know if you ate when you was a kid. Hot sausages.
Oh, man, what were those?
Okay, you're not from the hood. Hot Cheetos.
No, but I know of them. I know about them. Yeah.
The little 25 cents jug juice. It was like a little.
No.
You never had that.
No.
Okay, pickled eggs.
No.
Twinkies.
I know of them, but no, never had a Twinkie. No.
So what did you have as a kid?
Let's see. It was the food from lunch, whatever it was. And then my grandparents, may they rest in peace, would take me to the Burger King, which is now closed down now. That was sad to see. And we would get chicken fries. That was my thing, the chicken fries. Especially because like my complaint now with Burger King is that like have you ever noticed that like people will like overspice things just for the sake of like spiciness? So like the old school Burger King chicken fries, I remember them having like this blend of like garlic and stuff, and it was a lot of stuff. Still bad for you, you know. But it was, and then like now they're just like spiciness, you know, on top of it, which is dumb. But then that one, and then fruit gushers. Fruit gushers were my thing. And so it was just like a lot of that and just like all this junk food. And I think the shift started to happen like still in elementary school, because I would still what's it called? I would still go to the pediatric care and stuff, and then she would say, hey, your weight is this much, you need to slow down. And then my mom would help me out and say, hey, don't eat this, don't eat that. And so there was always like, hey, you're taking it a bit too far or whatever. There was always something to kind of curb it so that I could get back to a more healthier side.
Right.
Which was which ultimately was exercise, because I would still I'd still eat like fast food, but I was going to football practice, and so that's how it went back to it,
So, Ben, I'm gonna cut you off real quick. I want to ask you one thing.
Go.
We're gonna make a vow.
Go.
Put your hands up.
Oh, okay.
One hand.
Okay.
I, Brandon Cela, vow to take full control of my health from now, and therefore I will put in the work every single day to achieve a whole mind, body, and nutrition. Ashe.
What's that?
Ashe.
Is that like amen?
Yeah. It could be what you want it to be.
Okay, cool. Why are we whispering now?
All right. So did you mean that?
Yeah. I think I am
All
doing
right.
that. I am doing that already.
So what steps have you taken thus far?
Well, no, dude, like I pretty much cut out a meal.
A meal?
Yeah.
So are you doing intermittent fasting?
What's intermittent fasting?
All right, so let's date back a couple of thousands of years. And we were cavemen. We were doing things. We're doing our thing. We're hunters and gatherers. So we were using our body and accessing all the acupuncture meridians and all the glands underneath our feet.
Okay.
And everything. We were in tune with nature.
Yeah.
So at this period of time, we had to survive. So survival was what we had to do. So during the day, we would get up early. We need sunlight. And we would work all the way through like 6 o'clock. By 7 or 8, we would usually fall asleep. And then we'd wake up like around 4 or 5. So what we used to do is not eat for a certain period of time.
Okay.
So intermittent fasting.
But why was that? Why wouldn't we eat for like?
It was a way of survival.
Because you couldn't.
No, I mean it was
food.
Yeah. It was okay. So we had to rest at night and wake up in the day.
Yeah.
So it was how life was.
Okay.
But now it has proven that doing fasting improves your health and boosts weight loss and helps you get toner. I do it all the time.
I was at 205 and I weighed myself the other day. I'm like at 180.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's what fasting does. It kind of it gives it gives you time. This is exactly what it does. It gives time for your cells to renew themselves. So instead of give stuffing food. So it has so many useful factors. So that's something you could do. So usually you want to stop eating about 8 hours, I think. You want to wake up around. You want to eat 4 to 5 hours after you wake up,
Okay.
right? Then you have an 8-hour window to eat.
Okay.
And
Wait.
then-
So all right. So wake up, and then 4 hours eat, and then you're saying 8 hours later then eat.
So no. So let's say you go to sleep at 9.
Sure. Yes.
You wake up at 4.
Got it.
6 hours from 4 is like 10, 11. That's when you would eat,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
From 10, you have, I think it's 6 to 8 hours to eat all your meals, which are very small meals. So
Okay.
from 10 is
Oh,
12,
because you're
then it's
on-
like 5 or 7.
Because you're on the eat, small quantities but stretch it out kind of approach.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
It could be 1 or 2. It could be a meal, and that, it could be 2 meals in a day.
Okay.
But you're only eating during a 6-hour window,
Mm-hmm.
and then you stop eating about 4 hours before you fall asleep,
Got it.
and then you do that every day. So I do that, and I don't really lose muscle mass. I stay in shape, and it works.
Yeah.
And actually, I just do it because it works with my schedule. Because when I would wake up early, I wouldn't want to eat at 4 a.m.
True.
And then it's 9 a.m. And then by the time it's 10, 11, that's when I'm like, okay, lunchtime.
Yeah, and everyone's eating lunch and stuff. Yeah. Okay.
So here are a couple of things you should cut from. So what are a couple of things you've cut from your diet so far?
Oh, as far as like specific foods,
Yeah.
fries, pretty much.
Fries?
Yeah. I go to I get those veggie chips. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Those are my substitute.
Fries are fries, man. That's America's killer right there.
Hmm.
You know, it's just like the burgers and fries thing.
Yeah.
Integrated in our culture. That's what is skyrocketing. So let me give you a scenario. This morning, I was at the store downstairs. I went there and I saw the director of retail. So I was like, what are some approaches are you doing to improve health throughout FAU? You know, like have better spots than, like Wendy's and like have better stuff.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, actually, we just talked about that. So I was like, oh, yeah? And when we kept talking about it, it seems like there's an epidemic that we have to focus on health. But what I got also is that he told me that, yeah, like I just found out that I'm diabetic.
Oh.
So with that, it just shows how common and how we need to start to, put this as a talk, like it should be part of. Don't you think we should have a class to teach you how to be healthy, or financial health,
But
physical health?
Isn't that like science classes and stuff?
No, you don't learn anything about your body. Okay, so all right, let's do a quick quiz.
Okay.
Name a couple of your organs. Name 5 of your organs.
Brain, heart, lungs, liver, kidney. Brain, heart, lungs, liver, kidney.
Okay. Name 8. Add 3 more.
Okay, I have 3 more. Oh, it's hard now. Can I say left and right lungs?
Spleen, liver,
Spleen. Okay, yeah. All right.
gonad.
Wait. Thyroid? No, that's a
Thyroid.
muscle. Oh, my bad.
Okay. So with that being said, don't you think you should know where all your organs are?
I don't need to know that.
Yep, you do need to know that. Because when the
Yeah.
doctor comes and says,
You have a problem with this, yeah.
your kidneys are shot, you could be like, here, doctor. Like, you want to know where your kidneys are, because if you do, there are certain exercises you could do to, how you could clean your kidneys. So if you're listening to the show, just by rotating your torso, stretching your arm out towards the opposite ways, stepping back with one leg, twist is right there. Your liver is twisting, spleen twisting, kidneys cleaning. You get in a whole belt. You get the stomach, you get the pancreas, you get the liver, spleen, kidneys, all in one twist. That's why exercise is so important, but also being self-aware of your body.
Okay.
But a lot of people don't think that knowledge is necessary, but it is, because most of the information that right now you're researching are all probably gonna be a lot of BS. And that's the problem in the realm of health and nutrition. You don't know what's the good stuff. You don't know what's the real application.
Why do you think that is?
Because there's a lot of information. A lot of people just say what they said. It could be just for aesthetics.
Or what?
Like,
or
okay,
what-
I eat a whole bunch of protein
Yeah.
and carbs, and now I'm bulk, but it's like a bulky bulk. It's not healthy, and they're not healthy. And then now they're telling other people to live that same lifestyle. When the basic thing is eat your beans, eat your greens and fruit, and move. But people are gonna tell you all this stuff that you should do and do and do, but a lot of them doesn't go to health. Like, health is different than looking a certain way. That's why I want people to also know the difference between judging. Because, like, you could have been the most buffed up guy, and I still ask you, are you healthy? In fact, I want to have a whole bunch of different people, and I want to have a conversation about their health.
Yeah.
And see, or because I do this for a living. I sit with people. If you don't know, if you're listening, I'm a physical trainer, and I've been one for 3 years now. I'm actually a medical qigong instructor, and I'm all into the holistic lifestyle right now. So just really studying all of that stuff. And the common thread is like a lot of us are going down the pathway of self-destruction. You know, we destroy everything we got. Like, we destroy our planets, we destroy our relationships, we destroy the bridges that we should keep for the rest of our lives. Because sometimes we're just, normal human being, we're on our human being stuff. And it's hard to stay in connection with the truth. And the truth is, no one, no government, no president, no legislation, nothing is going to change how you perceive yourself and your health. And that's the most important thing to have, is health. Today I was running around campus really fast, and then I was jumping. Like, it feels good to be at a good physical shape. Then it's not like you're hurting yourself. It's fun, It's like when you was a kid, you was watching the wrestling match. I remember watching WWE, and I would be up there, and I would just be like, damn, those, like, they're strong, powerful, fast, twisting, doing crazy things. You're like, I want to be like that. When I was playing basketball, I wanted to be like those guys. I was like, I want to be like that. That's why we have millions and millions of football fans and hockey fans and baseball fans. And all the fans, everyone is just looking at what we can be and what we should be. But we don't realize that that's what we're destined to be. And that from the days of a caveman to our current technology advanced world, we got it on us to be fast, to be smart, and to be self-conscious. And that's the goal of the show, and that's what I want you to realize, is that you already got it in you. You just kind of have to make that choice. And all of that, it bleeds into your life. It just bleeds into your life, man. It just gives you a better life routine. So, what are some lifestyle changes? I have a question for Brandon Cela. If you're not tuning in to the Ed Talk podcast, I'm live here at FAU with Brandon Cela. So, what lifestyle changes have you made to not just be like getting in better physical shape, but in better mindset and mental, professional, financial wellness?
Thinking about my spending,
That's a good one.
Yeah, because early on, just spending money on like junk and not thinking like, well, do I really want this video game? Do I really want this? you know. So think about that as far as financial.
So, what steps have you taken to take control of your spending? Because
It's for me, it's about stepping back, because and saying, like, well, I could use this stuff in the long run. I could put this in my savings, and so I can save it for the long run.
so have you ever heard of the law of the 10%? So you want to save 10% of all that you've accumulated.
Okay.
So
Nice.
there was a city
Yeah.
called the city of Babylon. So all the people there saw a man, and he was the richest man in Babylon, and they wanted to know, how did he get so freaking rich? And you can see that in our world now. You see like these people making all these cool apps, and they're just like, how they got that rich? And he basically said, don't focus on getting an income. Focus on making profits. And think of your money like little workers. You want to put them to work. You don't want to just throw them away. Right?
Right.
So he came. There was part of the story was he gave one bag of gold to one person. He gave 3 bags of gold to another person. And then he gave one 6 bags. Each of the one who got more than one went back and multiplied what they had. And the one person said, I took the bag. I had 1 bag of gold. I went out and I dug a hole and I hid it. And now I have the bag safe and secure. So he took the bag from that person and he gave it to the person with 6 bags who doubled his 3 bags. That being said, the law of 10% means that not only you saving 10% of your income, but you're sending them out there to make money for you. So that's my little financial advice. And that's actually one of my New Year's revolutions. I don't say resolutions, because resolutions is for losers. You make a resolution this year, then you don't pass it. You have to make a new resolution. When you revolve against something, there's no turning back. At that stage, I'm in this for life. So you screw it up a couple months, you got to get back on it. Save that 10%. So you're saving money.
Yeah.
What else are you doing?
That's financially.
Let's talk socially. I see you got the shirt. You're looking good.
Up,
you're changing your
more.
style.
Yeah,
so how have that improved your sense of being?
Making me feel better. I don't know.
I like that.
Because I kind of just look at myself and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. So you're looking at yourself. You like, I have to take control. I have to start looking good. I have to start looking good. What made you make that decision?
Trying to get laid. But that's part of it. But also just the presenting aspect and just kind of looking at myself and and listen, there's nothing wrong with the cargo shorts and the shirt, but for using it correctly, because I've noticed that my roommate Ivan, shout out to Ivan, he likes to joke about my wardrobe, and he's like, man, you're here with white cargo shorts and all this stuff, and I'm like, well, then what do you want me to do? But then he goes, oh no, you gotta do this and this. So it's more about I guess instead of just lumping together my clothes, to think for a second, hold on, let me take this shirt, let me take that, and kind of piece it together to make it look nice. Also, I got clothes that are just they're sitting there, because my roommates are kind of lazy as far as going out and stuff. But I have these good clothes that are just kind of sitting there. Let me use them, and to bust them out sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So I found myself in CEO mode. CEO mode is what I call it when I'm on a journey to making some business move.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm in CEO mode, I like to wear suits.
Ed's got great suits. I gotta say, you got some great suits, man.
Thanks, brother. when I'm in chill mode, like now, I just wear flip flops and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that clothes do determine your state, but clothes should never be what determines, your state in like your environment. As far as like,
It should
as
be
far as like if you don't, some people are depending on the look, and that's the problem.
It should never get that way.
It should never get to the point where it's like, I can't step outside if I don't have the sun. And there are people out there who have gotten to that low level of being so blunt, and it's real that you have to keep it real. Like you have to recognize, oh, okay, I'm not really defined by all this stuff. So at the end of time, we have to go deep inside. So that's the deeper. Now we're going to move into the mind. So your brain and your mind is two different things. Mind is a completely separate sense, That's like the sixth sense, the third eye.
Have you seen that movie?
Maybe I have.
Sixth Sense. Bruce Willis. It's,
yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I have.
Oh, nice.
But in order for us to go through the enlightened phase, we have to be able to recognize how we could rewire our subconscious mind. So, have you ever went into a situation where you've seen your subconscious mind making you do something that you're not recognizing that you actually doing?
I don't know. I don't know if I've recognized that as that.
All right. So
Subconscious
most
making-
people don't. So we're gonna try to look at something. So what is one action now that you want to change?
I don't know.
One action?
I don't know.
So what's something in your life that you want to improve? That's a question you have to know. If you don't know what's something in your life that you have to improve on, then you have to look in retrospect every day to see what can you get better at.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna pick something.
Career wise, I'm not where I'm not at the peak of where I want to be.
Yeah. So what do you want to be?
Oh, director. Director for.
Okay, so
director, writer, something like that.
So Brandon, I've talked to you. You're a pretty cool person. What steps have you made towards being a director? You're a 20-year-old in a highly technically advanced world, and you could pretty much start whatever you want. At a click of a button, you could find yourself a cast and get something going. So, what steps have you made towards that pursuit?
Well, the show that I have, shout out to the Cela Corner, that's on my YouTube, is like a creative outlet for me to to put out, skits or different storylines or whatever, so that I could put out my, the creative side more. Being hired at LTV definitely helps as far as experience with filming, editing, and just that kind of stuff. And then from there, it's I'm trying to get internships.
So, do you think you're operating at your best state?
Yeah, where I'm most comfortable. Yeah.
Okay, comfort.
Yeah.
Comfort is the killer of creativity.
I get where that.
Comfort is the killer of greatness.
Okay, I get that.
So, are you comfortable, or are you pursuing exactly what you? Because you're trying to be a director.
Yeah.
And the entry to media right now is anybody enter, boom, 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 boom. To be great, you gotta be on top of your game. You got the ideas, you got the personality, and I could see you being there. But where's the work ethic behind that ambition?
I think I could be better, and I'm getting there. because right now I'm just starting putting together as far as what I want to do
Right.
and what
So you're 20 years old.
and what ideas I want to put out there, because like one thing that I know I gotta step up on, now we're talking, and now it starts starting to come up. I know one thing is writing, as
Mm-hmm.
far as writing scripts. That's a thing that I haven't really delved into, and I know it's a big thing.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I want to do. So why not just start doing it?
Mm-hmm.
So I know, and I'm developing ideas here and there. So now the next part is to write them down.
Yeah. So look, there's a book.
Nice.
I have 3 books now, and from those 3 books of my daily goals, I'm gonna write a book, and it'll be my testimony. It'll be the journey. So, only 3% of the population writes their goals down. And there was this one man, one of my mentors, he was saying this story. In his class, there was about 3% of the students wrote their goals down. And when we went back to see what the other 97% were doing, what the 3% were doing, the 3% was way more successful. Because the 3% knew exactly what they set out to do every day. They had a certain routine. They had a certain amount of rituals that they really stick to, and that they don't budge, if anything. Not that they don't make mistakes, but they just live by this certain set of goal. Like this morning, I woke up, and I swear to you, I woke up, boom, and I was like, okay, this software is gonna do this. It's gonna provide. My mind was on some sixth sense stuff. I didn't even think twice. I didn't know where. Like I was sleeping and dreaming about it. It's like every day is a mission to being, greater. You know what I mean? So you're here on this podcast, and you're tuning in with me right now. It's just like a conversation between 2 friends at FAU at Florida Atlantic University. But this is a moment in my development of growth towards what I'm going to be doing. This is a prelude of future endeavors. So you're here in college, and you're the director at FAU OWL TV for production. That's big. That's an opportunity that you can leave an impact. And somebody can be like, in 10 years, you helped me start this media stuff. That's pretty good. That's a responsibility. So what I recognize is that most of us don't realize the position we already have and how much opportunity you already got with your position, and you just went to New York and now you're back, and you're in college, you're in Florida, you're not in a third world country, you look good, you're Cuban, you got stuff, you could do things, but a lot of us, we take that stuff for granted. So if there's one thing I want you to do is get yourself a book and write your goals down, write your vision down, write your script. You're not good at writing, bro, because you didn't write anything down. You don't have a book to write, and you want the writing to come. You don't have a program to direct, but yet you're aiming to direct. So now that you have your show, that's the building block. And you got to put it all into it. So whatever you want, just go for it. So let me tell you a story about me. You were there when I started my show at FAU TV, were you not?
Yeah.
And tell me how the process went.
We're talking about the first episode.
I'm talking about the unlimited power thing. The first time I was just behind a green screen and you were there, and I was just doing the show, or even any of the times you could remember.
Well, I remember when you came up with the name of the show.
Yeah, the Ed Talk thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So when I first started my show, I was just behind it. I was just like, let me see what I can do. I was like, let me interview people. I was like, let me just interview my friends. I was like, let me interview more famous people. Now I'm going to interview health and this enthusiasts.
Yeah.
I could have went from A to Z. So my thing is, go straight to the point of what you're trying to do and not bush around it, because the time for greatness is now. Now, there's a lot of people our age that are doing what you want to do right now. So that means there's competition, but what there's more of is opportunity. Like if I saw a guy who's like, yeah, okay, so I got this app, I built this app, and if you give me money and they give me a place, and now I'm doing it. I was like, I can do that. You have to like look at it and be like, yeah, I can do that. And then you believe it. So I sometimes I know I seem crazy to like you and the staff. I'm like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. That shit is gonna happen. Like, it's going to happen. That's because I know that's what I want. So, like, sometimes I hear from people like, I want to be a director, but they don't really mean it, you know. It's not like I'm gonna do this. Like, when I speak to you, you know I'm going to do it. You just don't know when it's gonna happen yet, but it's going to happen. And a lot of people, we're just waiting, you know, like we're waiting. We're like, okay, so when I do this, when I get that, when I get an internship, listen, you're creative now. Like, you could do it now. I was like, I gotta wait till I do this, I had to do that, and then now I'm like, I could do this now. Like, I remember, like, my mindset. Some 40-year-old probably don't have the structure I have in my life with certain things. A 40-year-old might not be able to handle certain situations like I can at 23. Some people have not grown up yet at all. They're still kids. They can't stick to something for more than 6 months, let alone writing a book every day. So it's not how old you are. It's how disciplined, you know. It's all about that discipline, man. So if you're tuning into the Ed Talk podcast, I went off on this subject because it hit home. And I wanted to talk more about what hits home. Because we have to start to look deeper into what we're capable of. You know, like what we're able to achieve and who we're able to become. But without strong belief in that thing that you can become, it just doesn't happen. So the beauty of my thing is, it's knowing that I'm there without being there. You know, it's knowing that it's going to happen eventually. So that's why most people quit. You start working out and you're like, yeah, I'm seeing results, man. It's a week. It's like, yeah. And then you're like, yeah, I'm so excited. In a month, yeah. In 3 months, you're like, oh, man, I gained 10 pounds again. Oh, okay, gotta get back on the horse. You keep falling off. And you're frustrated and you give up. But if you don't get to the end, it don't even matter, because you won't be able to experience the turmoil. The challenge makes greatness. Diamonds are built under pressure. All that stuff is real. The competitive nature of sports is there to see if you're worth it. If you're not, then you lose. Are you strong enough? Have you trained long enough? Have you put in the work every day? Did you do this every Monday? Did you show up? Did you complete all the media? Did you put your episodes out on the time you say you were going to put them out? Did you keep on? Did you engage? Did you do the steps that it takes to build an audience? Are you researching up on branding? Are you building your personal development? Are you learning how to be and talk to people and create social interactions so that you could bring people together and build a team? You know, what are all the steps being taken? That's what matters. And stop complaining and coming to me and talking about how you've not yet achieved your goal if you're not going out there and putting in the freaking work every day to get to what you want to get to. It's ridiculous how many people always want to, blame other people for what they're not doing, man. And I'm out here talking to the universe. So I'm a physical trainer. And I see people with great potential all the time. Great intentions, too. And they're just letting one thing get in the way of just freeing yourself. When you have a goal, a desire, you want something, it's deep in your soul. You want it, and now you're saying you can't have it. that dates back to your kid. It's like you're a kid. You're like, I want it, I can't have it. And you're like, I can't have it. When you have that mentality of can't have it, that's when you start to lose hope. And you got to always be on that. I can have this. You know, I deserve it. You know, the other day, I'm writing a business plan. And I'm like writing the value of like how much I would invest. And I'm like, I'm dealing with millions of dollars of evaluation. And I'm like, wait, this is pretty cool. Because I'm actually believing this, that I can write it down. Everything I believed at a certain point, I wrote down. So the more you start believing, the bigger your dreams become. The bigger your goals become. The bigger and clearer the vision becomes. So it's all about growing that vision to exactly what you want. And what you want is not what you think you want. What you want is a gift from the universe for you to be a vessel carrying the abundance that God has bestowed upon us. Like, my mission is not mine. I've came to realize, like, what's a guy like me from a poor country, Haiti, doing here, trying to host an organization to empower people to live a good life, and mentally, physically, like, who am I? And I'm like, I went through all of this to become this thing, and now I'm just sharing something that somewhere came to me, and I'm sharing it. So if you got this thing you want to share, there's people to listen, but they can't hear what you're not sharing. We're waiting for the message, but they're not bringing it. So what separates me from Martin Luther King? What separates me from Malcolm X? What separates me from Nelson Mandela? It's just me saying no to mediocrity. It's just me saying no to, yeah, I'm just gonna go for this. I'm just gonna go to the bar. Let's go past the bar. You know, let's crush it. Let's go through it and go to and come from down and have a testimony and be like, yeah, I did it. Everybody has the same story. Went through pain, figured it out, boom, skyrocketed. They figured it out, went through pain, still goes through pain, and then make it to the next level. So it's a series of growing, and beginning to recognize how great you are right now is amazing. And that's what I want you to do. I want you to realize that you have the unlimited power to achieve greatness. And whatever it is that you want to happen can happen and will happen. But you have to believe it. You have to know that if you can see it without seeing it, then it's already yours. No other creature in this planet can close their eyes and just envision something that's not there. But you can. You can create. You can do something that people have never seen before. So I'm like sitting down like a maniac, typing. I'm like, this is really good. And you have to know that your stuff is good, because nobody gonna see it. Nobody gonna care about what you're doing while you're doing it in the process. People only want to see you at the end. But the process, that's your story. That's your movie. So make it work for you. And let that light shine. So let that light shine. Don't hide it. Don't dim it. Let that light shine. Don't hide it. Don't dim it. Let that light shine. Don't hide it. Don't damn it. God damn it. You're tuning in to the Ed Talk audio collection. Thank you for tuning in. Beast mode. So Brandon Cela, say goodbye.
Peace, y'all.